Travel alert, using the path, you travel south, taking 20 minutes to arrive. As you approach this impressive column of glowing, silver blue stone, your skin begins to tingle, a sort of physical warning that you're about to trespass on official wizardry ground. Still standing 30 feet away, you notice that the tower has no doors, windows, or any other obvious way to enter. I think this is the base for the inner circle, Redfern recognizes. I am sure the Truistics need a base of operations here so they can keep an eye on the Sislands as well as the Hellions escaping from the Evilroot Forest. We're fugitives now regarding the circle, we need to leave at once. How do you react to Redfern's advice? Choose an option, agree and stay away from the tower, disagree and look for a way into the tower. Yes, this decision was quite easy, until the situation changes, you need to stay clear of anything involving the inner circle. Led by Redfern, your party instinctively backs away. There is little to do here near the stone tower of the inner circle. You can return northwest to the various mobile shops lining the edge of the road, head east toward the city of Nace or, if you really want to tempt fate, head southwest to see the ongoing battle up close between the gathered forces of good and the Hellions from the Evilroot beyond. Travel alert, returning to the road west to Wilex River, you take a half hour to arrive. The road west continues to be blocked here by the guards, the road back to Kathleen too dangerous to take anyway. You'll want to head east, explore the current location and eventually travel further east deeper into the country of Hope Air itself. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on herself, healing her for 4 hit points. GM note, it's dark here. Click the Use Item button to select a source of light, your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized and your heroes are refreshed and re-energized. Janet casts Cure Light Wounds on herself, healing her for 9 hit points. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her for 4 hit points. Sainadius casts Cure Light Wounds on himself, healing him for 6 hit points. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized and Janet casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her for 9 hit points. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended. Travel alert, using the road. You travel southeast, taking 10 minutes to arrive. There is little more to do here now near the tent of the Sislan Way. Travel alert, using the path. You travel southeast, taking 10 minutes to arrive. Moving away from the main road a quarter of a mile to the north, you reach a relatively high ridge, affording a view to the south where you can see the gathered army of heroes bravely defending the land here from the invading Hellions that are escaping the Evilroot Forest. The sight is quite spectacular. Hundreds of adventurers doing battle with dozens and dozens of demonic Hellions, each appearing as monstrous, and, often, airborne fire elementals. From the vantage point, let's do a wisdom check on your hero and see what happens. Needing a 14 or less from Janet, a 3 was rolled. Success. From the vantage point, it sure seems foolish to want to proceed south and engage with the Hellions. If you still plan to do so, however, At least be sure that you carry some sort of magical fire protection so you're not immediately burned by these fiery beings. And so it begins, a new age of damnation, Redfern whispers, breaking the party's silence. It's not our fault, Eswin replies, staring ahead at the massive battle as well. We tried to stop it, this is between the Sislands and the Circle now. It's not just our fight, Nace responds, needing to correct Eswin. It's all of our fight. Does that mean we should join them? Kartha wonders, challenging you as the party leader to respond. Choose an option. No, we're still too weak to do any good here. Yes, let's see what we can do to help. Janet permanently increases her honor score by 1 point. Your fellow adventurers aren't quite sure if they're ready to stand and face such aggressive monsters, even if they'll be fighting alongside so many higher level heroes as well. But they do trust you, so if you're going to march them toward the battlefront, just make sure you have some sort of fire resistance to protect them. From this point, you can retreat back to the north and revisit the various mobile shops, or you can continue to the south with the intentions of joining the heroes on the front line against the Hellions. Again, just be warned that the area further south is literally on fire. You will be burned if you continue and don't have any way of protecting yourselves from the heat. Janet uses a scroll of party resist fire on the entire adventuring party, protecting them. Janet is protected from fire for 2 hours, Ariana is protected from fire, Ariana is resistant to magical heat, Barthol is protected from fire for 2 hours, Eswin is protected from fire for 2 hours, Kartha is protected from fire for 2 hours, Redfern is protected from fire for travel alert. Using the path, you travel south, taking an hour to arrive. Merely approaching the front lines here between the gathered characters and the dozens of hellions escaping from the Evilroot Forest is both heroically intense as well as utterly frightening, both sides locked in heated combat, and I do mean heated. All kinds of higher level heroes, soldiers, Sislands, circle wizards, and officials have come to keep the monsters from spreading northward, and while most of the hellions do seem unable to break through, every now and then 1 or 2 leap high above the action and hurl themselves northward, likely to attack and maim the good people far beyond where you currently stand. GM alert, be careful here, Janet. The encounter area here is ablaze in magical fire. As you approach, you can already feel the heat from the hellion horde beyond. If you intend to join the battle and fight hand to hand with these infernals, you will be burned badly without some sort of fire resistance. Indeed, if you're not already protecting yourselves, you're already taking damage. Do you want to join the fight or return to the north, away from the battle? Choose an option, stay and fight, and see what happens, turn and leave, and with no dishonor? Braving the heat, the pyrotechnics flying about and the significant bushfires burning all around you, your party makes its way further south toward the front lines, about to try your hand in battle against the invading hellions. Surveying the battlefield through all the fire and smoke, you look for where your party can do the most good without exposing yourselves too much to the enemy. The hellions are quick, and while they can't fly as freely as a hawk, they can lift themselves high into the air, which seems to be their favorite method to attack. Now on the front lines, it does not take long before a pair of the hellions spot your party and wail loudly before rushing to attack. Here they come. Eswin shouts over the din of battle all around you. Need a little help? Standing there is a tall, handsome human fighter with a blonde ponytail and a confidence sorely needed in this location. Indeed, a hero of high level is offering his assistance, and just in time as the 2 hellions swoop in against you. I am L1. Let's send these monsters back to hell, shall we? Welcome L1 to your party. L1 is a level 9 fighter and takes his place at your side. Click his profile to learn about him. Certainly not about to pass up the chance to have a higher level hero fight alongside your party, you welcome L1 as a fellow combatant as the hellions leap upon you, striking with horrific fury. Your party is under attack. About to attack your party are two hellions. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet casts Cause Light Wounds on Hellion number 2, wounding it for 9 points of damage, needing a 14 or greater. Hellion number 2 rolls a 11 and fails versus spells. It's Ariana's turn. What do you want her to do? Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Hellion number 2, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 18, +4 to hit. Ariana hits Hellion number 2, doing 4 points of damage and leaving it with 24 hit points. It's L1 readies his longsword +2 and swings at Hellion number 2, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 10, +11 to hit. L1 hits Hellion number 2, doing 6 points of damage and leaving it with 18 hit points. It's C. Nyers' turn. What do you want him to do? Nace readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Hellion number 2, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 18, +4 to hit. Nace hits Hellion number 2, doing 8 points of damage and leaving it with 10 hit points. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at Hellion number 2, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 2, +5. Redfern casts Magic Missile on Hellion number 2, striking it with a magic missile for 6 points of damage. It's Kartha's turn. What do you want her to do? Kartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Hellion number 2, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 10, +4 to hit. Kartha misses Hellion number 2. Hellion number 1 attacks Ariana with its monstrous flames, needing a 18 to hit. Die roll is a 11, +8 to hit. Hellion number 1 hits Ariana, burning her for 6 points of damage. Fire resistance reduces damage by half and leaving Ariana with 18 hit points. Hellion number 2 attacks Ariana with its monstrous flames, needing a 18 to hit. Die roll is a 10, +8 to hit. Hellion number 2 hits Ariana, burning her for 8 points of damage. Fire resistance reduces damage by half and leaving Ariana with 10 hit points. Hellion number 2 again attacks Ariana with its chilling wail, nearly frightening her but not effective, needing a 11 or greater. Ariana rolls a 16 and saves versus spells. It's Barthal's turn. What do you want him to do? GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. Barthal readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at Hellion number 2, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 14, +4 to hit. Barthal hits Hellion number 2, doing 4 points of damage and defeating it. It's Ariana's turn. What do you? Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Hellion number 1, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 2, +4 to hit. Ariana misses Hellion number 1. Kartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Hellion number 1, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 16. Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at Hellion number 1. Redfern casts Magic Missile on Hellion number 1, striking it with a magic missile for 6 points of damage. It's Barthal's turn. What do you want him to do? Barthal readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at Hellion number 1, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 19, +4 to hit. Barthol hits hellion number 1, it's Nace's turn. What do you want him to do? Nace readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at hellion number 1, needing a 17 to hit. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at hellion number 1, needing a 17 to hit. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. L1 readies his longsword +2 and swings at hellion number 1, needing a 17 to hit. Die roll is a 20, which is an automatic hit and does double damage. L1 hits hellion number 1, doing 24 points of damage and defeating it. Well done. All combatants have been defeated, ending the battle. Each hero receives 236 experience points. That's a few more hellions out of the way. L1 shouts victoriously, the bold warrior raising his gleaming blade high into the air. Despite all the chaos around the party, you can't help but smile at the action. Well fought. L1 then says with a hearty, heroic grin, acknowledging your own prowess. None of you actually belong out here, but what you lack in common sense you seem to make up for in courage. Until next time. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details, and with that, L1 turns to the group on your right, the party of heroes not doing so well against their own small horde of hellions and clearly requiring L1's help. Who knows, perhaps you will see L1 again sometime. About to thank the fighter for his critical assistance, Ariana points back toward the Evilroot Forest, utter shock on her face. Now approaching is a small army of hellions, far too many for you to deal with. A variety of warning horns and bells begin to sound along the battlefront, all the gathered heroes here recognizing that things have just gone from bad to much worse. This is likely a good time to turn and run. The approaching hellion horde will arrive within the next few minutes, and there is no telling whether the line of heroes here, already tired from their battles over the last 12 to 24 hours, can absorb yet another wave of monsters. But that's your call. What do you want to do? Choose an option, stay and continue to fight, not a good idea, turn and leave, definitely a good idea. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. All in agreement, the party turns and flees north again, all of you recognizing that to stay and continue to fight would be suicide. Reaching the vantage point again, you turn back and watch as another small army of hellions slams into the front lines below, the resulting maelstrom of fire and smoke and charred debris so thick you can't tell what's happening. Intuition warns you that even this vantage point may no longer be safe, so it's time to head east and leave the battle camp behind. Travel alert, using the path, you travel northwest, taking 15 minutes to arrive. The merchant awaits for you to buy and sell any mundane item you wish, a soft and comforting smile on his face. Janet lost 2 platinum pieces, change made is 2 gold pieces. In return, she receives 8 rations. Janet lost 2 platinum pieces, change made is 5 electrum pieces. In return, she receives Ariana lost 2 platinum pieces, change made is 5 electrum pieces. In return, she Ariana lost 2 platinum pieces, change made is Barthol lost 5 gold pieces. In return, Barthol lost 1 platinum piece. In return, Eswin lost 1 platinum piece. In return, he receives Eswin lost 1 platinum piece. In return, Kartha lost 5 electrum pieces. Kartha lost 5 electrum pieces. In return, Redfern lost 2 platinum pieces, change made. Redfern lost 2 platinum pieces, change. Sainadius lost 1 platinum piece. Sainadius lost 1 platinum piece. In return, he receives 5 water skins. Travel alert, returning to the smithy, you take 10 minutes to arrive. Janet lost 24 platinum pieces. In return, she receives 2 chain mails. Janet lost 50 platinum pieces. In return, she receives Janet sells 1 leather armor and receives the equivalent of 16 gold pieces. Janet sells 7 wooden shields and receives the equivalent of 39 gold pieces and 20. Ariana sells 2 short bows and receives the equivalent of 40 gold pieces. Ariana sells 1 wooden shield and receives the equivalent of 5 gold pieces and 60 copper pieces. Barthol sells 1 short sword and receives the equivalent of 4. Barthol sells 1 leather armor and receives the equivalent of 16 gold. Eswin sells 6 wooden shields and receives the equivalent of 33 gold. Kartha sells 1 wooden shield and receives the. Kartha sells 1 mace and receives the equivalent. Sainadir sells 1 mace and receives the. Sainadir sells 1 wooden shield and receives the equivalent of 5 gold pieces and 60 copper pieces. Sorry, but at least one of your party heroes is encumbered, carrying too much inventory. Travel alert, using the road, you travel east, taking 20 minutes to arrive. You've now reached the eastern edge of the battle camp, the road under your feet continuing east as far as the eye can see. Are we ready to depart for Nace? Redfern asks, checking his own backpack. Everyone have enough food, water, and such? It's about a week's journey. Let's go ahead and check each of your hero inventories to see whether they indeed have at least a week's worth of rations and water skins for the journey ahead. The entire party confirms that it is properly equipped and ready to head out. Each of you have enough supplies to last at least a week during your trek through the wilderness. The road east beckons you forward, while the same road will take you west back into the battle camp. Janet casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her for 6 hit points. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her for 7 hit points. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized, and your heroes are refreshed and re-energized. Travel alert, using the road, you travel east, taking a few hours to arrive. Leaving the devastation of the battle camp, you soon put several hours behind you, the hundreds of heroic Marigan defenders putting up perhaps a last great stand against the hordes of hellions continuing to rupture from the Evilroot Forest. Glad to now be on your way, you also recognize that it will likely be a long time before you return to your homeland of Pyrapa again. As you ponder your own thoughts, let's do a spirit check on your hero and see if anything comes to mind. Needing a 13 or less from Janet, a 19 was rolled. Failure, your recent experiences with the hellions and the brave but likely futile defense against them is quite depressing, and you wonder how the people of Mariga can possibly pull together to defeat these monsters, as Sisla supposedly did a millennium earlier. Janet, how in Sicelus do we stop all those hellions now? Ariana asks innocently, incensed by what all of you have just witnessed. How will our lives ever return to normal? The Sislan Way will devise a plan, Sainadir responds, his faith still absolute. They are sworn to protect this world, they will rid us all of these demons. The inner circle will devise their own plan, Redfern adds confidently yet respectfully. The circle is also sworn to protect the land, which they've done for nearly 1,000 years. The Sislans and the circle hate each other, and will just bicker while the Hellions run free, Cartha conjectures, her cynicism obvious. Well, need to unite, and I just don't see that happening. Which side are you on, Janet? Choose an option. Inner circle? Neither. Cartha is probably right, Sislan way. Agreeing with Cartha, both Nace and Redfern roll their eyes and shake their heads, completely disagreeing with you. Still, it's not anything to fuss about, there is little anyone in your party can do about the situation at the moment. And with that, the conversation goes silent, each of your heroes withdrawing into themselves to think about and reflect on events over the past few hours. Let's do a wisdom check on your hero, this time to see what Janet thinks about the encounters with the Hellions. Needing a 14 or less from Janet, a 3 was rolled. Success. GM note, it's dark here. Click the Use Item button to select a source of light. Now, having witnessed the Hellions up close, and recognizing their potential for destroying the world, you can't help but worry that even if Cartha is right and it ultimately requires the combined help of everyone within Mariga, that still may not be enough. Regardless of how many Hellions have actually invaded, how organized they become and how truly vicious they are, it's clear that a second age of damnation may very well have begun. Either way, the best you can do now is become stronger and more experienced. The road here leads west to east, west back to the battle camp just outside of Pyrepa, and east deeper into Hope Air and your destination of Nace a week's march away. Travel alert, using the road, you travel east, taking several days to arrive, still 3 days or so away from Nace. Your party comes across an obvious intersection in the road, the first you've encountered since leaving the battle camp along the Pyrepa-Hope Air border. While the main road continues east, a smaller yet well-pruned and maintained road heads due north up into the foothills. A modest sign stands at the intersection as well, an obvious way to learn more about the second road if you're curious. The sign indicates that the residence of Baron Wrenwald lies at the end of the road north, a local official you presume. Does anybody know who this Baron Wrenwald is? Eswin begins, looking about for any possible signs of trouble. There is a Lady Afra Wrenwald in Kathleen, Nace recalls, recognizing the last name. I believe she is a daughter of the Baron. Sislan protocol also dictates that any noble provides sanctuary to a Sislan cleric upon request. We can likely be afforded modest accommodations here if we wish. It would be delightful to spend the night in a warm bed, Redfern comments, grinning with the thought. Your heroes look to you, all in relative agreement. What do you think? Choose an option. No, we should continue toward Nace. Yes, let's pay the good Baron a visit. Agreeing to the suggestion, you indicate that the party should turn left and head north on the smaller road, hoping to be welcomed and resting comfortably within the hour. Follow the smaller road due north to pay a visit to Baron Wrenwald. Of course, the main road continues east toward Nace, which you can take after your visit with the Baron, or west back toward the battle camp. Travel alert, using the road, you travel north, taking an hour to arrive. Taking the smaller road north, it's easy to tell by the landscaping that the road here was originally excavated professionally and has been well groomed and maintained ever since. Whoever this Baron is, he is quite wealthy. As you continue north, however, you notice a steady decline in the health and appearance of the vegetation along the road. Indeed, the further north you go, the sicker and grayer everything becomes. The most attuned to the natural environment within your party, let's have Cartha try an empathy check to see if she notices anything. Needing a 14 or less from Cartha, a 4 was rolled. Success. Something is very wrong, Cartha finally whispers, the cleric starting to feel physically sick. There is some sort of curse here or natural pestilence, I fear for all our safety. I agree, Ariana replies, the elf also able to sense something wrong with all the vegetation surrounding you. I don't think we should stay here long. I am not sensing anything magical, Redfern comments, using his natural talents to do so. A free knight's room and board may not be worth it, Eswin instructs, drawing his blade. Perhaps we should head back. No, we should still seek this Baron, Nace instructs, the cleric trained to always help when possible. He may need our help instead of the other way around. How about it, Janet? What do you instruct your heroes? Choose an option, push forward and investigate, turn around and go back. Janet permanently increases her honor score by 1 point. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. The party waiting for an answer, you nod affirmatively, ordering everyone to push forward. Nace nods his head, visually communicating his thanks for investigating further. Another half-mile or so later, you come across what looks like a stately manor, a small collection of newer buildings encircled by a sturdy brick wall. As you approach, however, you are constantly annoyed by a variety of biting insects. Several blackbirds eye you hungrily and you feel as if you're being watched. The road ahead splits into two, with one road leading north through the opened gate in the wall while the second road leads away to the east and then further to the north back behind the Baron's manor. As you reach the split in the road, Cartha stops and holds her head, signaling with her hands to stop. Clearly something is distressing her. Let's do another empathy check on Cartha and see what happens. Needing a 14 or less from Cartha, a 19 was rolled. Failure, someone, is invading my mind. Cartha cries out, the pain quite apparent. Help, a plea for help. Someone is crying out for our help, and warning us as well. There is a dryad here, somewhere near the cemetery beyond, Cartha then utters, the pain now gone and the priestess regaining her feet. She's called out to us, we need to go save her at once. Save her from what? Redfern asks, looking around suspiciously. It's always something. Eswin laments, taking his position as the lead warrior and leading you forward. Let's go. And with that, you're free to explore the manor and cemetery before you, already warned that something wicked may be waiting for all of you beyond. Travel alert, using the road, you travel east, taking 5 minutes to arrive. Traveling east along the secondary road, you reach a 90-degree turn to the left, the path leading north another 75 feet before terminating at the gates of an old cemetery. Like everywhere else around the manor, the vegetation here has all but died and you feel a heavy, oppressive evil as well. From your current vantage point, you can now see a small bell tower rising up from the back of the manor, perhaps 30 feet tall and oddly menacing. Indeed, more of the same black crows you spotted on the road leading to the manor appear perched atop the tower, watching you with the same empty, hungry eyes. Cartha, do you still hear that voice in your head? Redfern calmly asks. The cleric stops for a moment and concentrates, waiting to see if she can hear anything more. Moments later, she responds to Redfern but looks to you as if issuing her report. I don't hear her anymore, but I sense that she's up ahead in the cemetery or perhaps that grove of trees to the west. Cartha then looks up toward the bell tower to the northwest, its presence eerie and foreboding. I also sense extreme evil coming from that tower there, Cartha whispers, afraid for your entire party. The small trail here leads toward a cemetery to the north as well as the gate entrance in the wall to the west. Travel alert, using the road, you travel north, taking 10 minutes to arrive. As you approach the cemetery, you encounter a wooden gate that bars your way into the graveyard. Beyond the gate and wooden fence that surrounds the cemetery, you see dozens of well-carved, aligned and orderly gravestones, indicating that the facility was neatly taken care of. However, the grass, trees and vegetation are all dead here as well, most of it shriveled up and rotting in sickening silence. Off to the west beyond the cemetery is a large grove of trees, a strange dark purple glow emanating from within. You can either open the gate to the cemetery here and continue forward, or you can go west and investigate the grove of trees. The wooden gate is stuck and takes a push to force open. The party then steps forward to investigate the whole of the cemetery. At first glance, you estimate that there are around 40 graves here, divided into two areas. While the stones themselves look fairly clean and in good condition, the surrounding vegetation is again in various stages of decomposition, emanating a stench that is rather hard to endure. Perhaps if you read some of the gravestones you could learn more. You also note several open holes in the ground scattered about, each about a foot in diameter and apparently dug out from within. Given all you've experienced here at the manor so far, it wouldn't surprise you at all if the cemetery is haunted and that the dead have been trying to escape. Nothing attacks you, fortunately, so you set about reading some of the gravestones. After some study, it becomes clear that roughly a third of the graves belong to the deceased family members of the Baron, all of whom seem to have died of natural causes over the years. The other graves belong to the servants of the family, perhaps buried here to allow them to continue their service long after death. You sense that the Baron's family was quite honorable and that there was no foul play associated with these graves. What is that? Ariana cries out, pointing to one of the nearer holes in the ground. All of you turn in time to watch several giant rats slowly climb their way up and out of the nearer holes, their eyes possessing an eerie reddish glow that can only mean one thing: they're zombies. More of the undead rats appear from the other holes, and quickly you're attacked by 24 or so of the monsters. Your party is under attack. Threatening all of you are 23 zombie giant rats. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet uses turn undead, but wasn't able to turn any of the encountered undead. Zombie giant rat number 2 closes in on Ariana to attack. Zombie giant rat number 5 closes. Zombie giant rat number 8 Zombie giant rat number 3. Zombie giant rat number 4. It's Redfern's turn. What do you want him to do? Redfern readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 13, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a 9. Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 13. Nace uses turn undead, but wasn't able to turn any of the encountered undead. It's Eswin's turn. What do you want? Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 7, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a 18. +5 to hit. Zombie giant rat number 18 closes in on Nace to attack. Zombie giant rat number 20. Zombie giant rat number 20. It's Ariana's turn. What do you want her to do? Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 2. Zombie giant rat number 6 closes. Zombie giant rat number 11 closes. Zombie giant rat number 16. Zombie giant rat number. Zombie giant rat number 19. Zombie giant rat number 2. It's Kartha's turn. What do you want her to do? Kartha uses turn undead, but wasn't able to turn any of the encountered undead. Zombie giant rat number 10 closes. Zombie giant rat number 12 closes in on. Zombie giant rat number 15 closes in on. Zombie giant rat number 21 closes in on. Zombie giant rat number 1 closes in on Janet to attack. Zombie giant rat number 4 closes in on Barthol to attack. GM note: a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 10, needing a 13. Redfern readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 16, needing a 13. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 12, needing a 13 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 23 attacks. Zombie Giant Rat number 1 attacks. Zombie Giant Rat number 11 attacks Barthol with its bite, needing a 14 to hit. Die roll is a 20, which is an Zombie Giant Rat number 17 attacks Redfern with its. It's Senire's turn. What do you want him to do? Senire's readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 15, needing a 13 to hit. Die. Zombie Giant Rat number 8 attacks Eswin with its bite, needing a 17 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 13 It's Ariana's turn. What do you want her to do? Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 2, needing a 13 to hit. Cartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 19. Zombie Giant Rat number 15 Zombie Giant Rat number 16 attack. Zombie Giant Rat number 18 attack. Zombie Giant Rat number 20 attacks Redfern with its bite, needing a 10 to hit. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet casts Cause Light Wounds on Zombie Giant Rat number 1, nearly wounding it, needing a 17 or greater. Zombie Giant Rat number 1 rolls a 18 and saves for no damage versus Zombie Giant Rat number 6 attacks Barthol with its bite, needing a 14 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 10 attack. Zombie Giant Rat number 14 attack. Zombie Giant Rat number 3 attacks Cartha with its bite, needing a 6. Zombie Giant Rat number 21 attacks Redfern. Zombie Giant Rat number 22 attacks Senire's with its bite, needing a 18 to hit. GM note: a new combat round has begun. Initiative. Janet casts Cure Light Wounds on Barthol, healing him for 6 hit points. Zombie Giant Rat number 23 attacks Cartha with its bite, needing a 16 to hit. It's Redfern's turn. What do you want? Redfern casts Magic Missile on Zombie Giant Rat number 1, striking it with a magic missile for 6 points of damage. Zombie Giant Rat number 1 has been defeated. It's Barthol's turn. What do you want him to do? Barthol readies his Ornate Dagger +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 11, needing a 13 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 13 attacks Janet with its bite, needing a 17 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 16 attacks Redfern with its bite, needing a 10 to hit. It's Senire's turn. What do you want him to do? Senire's casts Cure Light Wounds on Redfern, healing him for 4. Zombie Giant Rat number 8 attacks Zombie Giant Rat number 9 attacks Eswin with its bite, needing a 17 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 4. Zombie Giant Rat number 21 attacks. It's Ariana's turn. What do you want her to do? Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 10. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 8, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a 8, +5 to hit. Cartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 11 attacks Barthol with its bite, needing a 14 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 15. Zombie Giant Rat number 20 attacks. Zombie Giant Rat number 22 attacks. Zombie Giant Rat number 6 attacks Barthol with its bite, needing a 14 to hit. Die roll is a 16. Zombie Giant Rat number 6 hits Barthol, nearly afflicting him with a disease, needing an 8 or greater. Barthol rolls a 18 and saves versus death ray or poison. Zombie Giant Rat number 17 attacks Redfern. Zombie Giant Rat number 18 attacks Senire's. GM note: a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat. Zombie Giant Rat number 9 attacks Eswin with it. Zombie Giant Rat number 15 attacks Sainadius with its bite needing a. Zombie Giant Rat number 17 attacks. Zombie Giant Rat number 23 attacks Cartha with its bite. It's Red Fern's turn. What do you want? Red Fern casts Magic Missile on Zombie Giant Rat number 11, striking it with a Magic Missile for 6 points of damage. Barthol uses a potion of light healing on himself, healing him for 8 hit points. Zombie Giant Rat number 16 attacks Red Fern with its bite needing a 10 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 4 attacks Barth. Zombie Giant Rat number 14 attacks Janet with its bite. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 13. Cartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 21. Zombie Giant Rat number 22. It's Senires's turn. What do you want him to do? Sainadius readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 15, needing a 13 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 20. It's Eswin's turn. What do you want him to do? Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 20, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a 10, +5 to hit. Eswin hits Zombie Giant Rat number 20, doing 7 points of damage and defeating it. Zombie Giant Rat number 3 attacks Cartha with its bite needing a 16 to hit. Die roll is a 19, Zombie Giant Rat number 3 hits Cartha, afflicting her with a disease and temporarily decreasing her constitution score by 1 point for a day, needing a 10 or greater. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 6 attacks Barthol with its bite needing a 14 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 13 attacks Janet with its bite needing a. Zombie Giant Rat number 16 attacks. Zombie Giant Rat number 18 attacks Sainade. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 13, needing a 13 to hit. Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 21. Zombie Giant Rat number 14 attack. Zombie Giant Rat number 21 attacks Ariana with its bite needing a 19 to hit. It's Senires's turn. What? Sainadius readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant. It's Barthol's turn. What do you want him to do? Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at It's Cartha's turn. What do you? Cartha casts Cure Light Wounds on herself, healing her for 5 hit points. Zombie Giant Rat number 23 attacks. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 21. Cartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant. It's Barthol's turn. What do you want him to do? Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 6 attacks Barthol with its bite. It's Eswin's turn. What do you want him to do? Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 22. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 14. Sainadius readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 18. Zombie Giant Rat number 21 attacks Ariana with its bite needing a 9. Zombie Giant Rat number 5 attacks Ariana. Zombie Giant Rat number 17. Zombie Giant Rat number 18 attacks Sainadius. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 21. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 14. Zombie Giant Rat number 23 attacks Cartha with its bite needing a 16 to hit. Zombie Giant Rat number 3 attacks Cartha with it. It's Senires's turn. What do you want him to do? Sainadius readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number. Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 22 attack. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 14, needing a 13 to hit. Cartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at Zombie Giant Rat number 23. Zombie Giant Rat number 18 attacks Sainadius. Zombie Giant Rat number 21 attack. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 14. Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at. It's Ariana's turn. What do you want her to do? Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat. It's Eswin's turn. What do you want him to do? Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at. Zombie giant rat number 18 attacks Sainadius with its bite knee. It's Seniers' turn. What do you want him to do? Sainadius readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at zombie giant. It's Kartha's turn. What do you want her to do? GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative, Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 5. Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number. Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at zombie. It's Seniers' turn. What do you want him to do? Sainadius readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at zombie giant. Kartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swing. It's Eswin's turn. What do you want him to do? GM note, a new combat round has begun. In it, Barthol readies his ornate dagger +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number. Ariana readies her short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 22 attacks Sainadius with its bite. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet readies her mace +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 22. Kartha readies her quarterstaff +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 3. Needing. Eswin readies his short sword +1 and swings at zombie giant rat number 3, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a 12, +5 to hit. Eswin hits zombie giant rat number 3, doing 5 points of damage and defeating it. Well done. All combatants have been defeated, ending the battle. Each hero receives 33 experience points. The last of the zombified rats are put down and the area becomes as quiet as, well, a graveyard. Now what? Sainadius asks of you, offended by the monstrous rats. This place reeks of death and dishonor, we should leave at once. Sainadius is correct in that you've left the cemetery quite the mess. What would you like to do? Choose an option, bury the rats and tidy up the cemetery, ignore everything and simply leave, raid the various graves for treasure. Despite the gruesomeness of it all, you order the party to move all the carcasses back into the various holes throughout the graveyard in an attempt to clean up the mess you've made and honor the dead buried here. Several hours pass and most of the rat carcasses are reburied. As you're about to stuff the last of the monsters into a final hole, you notice what appears to be a human corpse lying inside. Investigating further, you soon find two desiccated bodies, an elderly man and an elderly woman, likely his wife. Both of these corpses were accidentally unearthed by the giant rats recently, victims who, assuredly, would want to be reburied immediately. Let's do a party intelligence check to see if you can figure out the best course of action. Needing a 13 or less from your heroes, a 17 was rolled. Failure, the party spends a few hours trying to determine who the deceased couple were, so you could rebury them alongside the correct tombstone, but you're simply unable to do so. Hence, you're forced to dig a new grave for them and be satisfied with that. The cemetery now fully explored, it's time to move on. You can either go west toward the strange light within the grove of trees beyond or head back south along the dirt road the way you came. Travel alert, using the path, you travel west, taking 10 minutes to arrive, approaching this grove of oak trees, the mysterious dark purple light continuing to pulse as you approach, you recognize that whatever has poisoned and putrefied the manor and all the vegetation is strongest here, likely caused by whatever is glowing within the grove. However, not everything here is quite dead, a few of the trees are still clinging to life, and that feeling of foreboding and doom you've been experiencing isn't quite as strong here. Exploring the grove, you quickly discover that the light is emanating from a shallow pit just to the north, something within is causing the pulsating glow you've been witnessing. You see my death, a frail, higher-pitched woman's voice whispers from behind. Exiting the trunk of one of the surviving oak trees is a small yet enchantingly beautiful young woman, appearing as a female elf but her skin partially covered by bark and her hair bearing dozens of colored yet withering leaves. The creature gazes upon you suspiciously with cold, vindictive eyes, she's not here to attack, but she also does not trust you. As if recognizing the small woman as a friend, Kartha steps forward to address her. You're in trouble. My friends are here to help, you can trust us. The beautiful creature frowns at first, then begins to cough, so much so that you recognize just how sick she really is. Moving slowly yet carefully as to not frighten the young creature, Kartha takes her hand, allowing the humanoid to sense the genuine warmth and altruism almost flooding from Kartha. I am Luacia, a lone dryad of my beloved grove, the enchanting Fey woman begins, deciding to trust Kartha. All of us are in grave danger. Tell us more, Ariana adds, her own elvish ancestry comforting to the dryad. Several days passed, this thing fell into my grove from where I know not, Luacia continues, pointing toward the glowing pit beyond. It is cursed, evil, and kills everything it touches. My grove is poisoned, the land here dying, the manor beyond now demonic. If not removed immediately, I too will be slain and will rise again as something utterly horrific. What should we do? Redfern asks with compassion. How can we help? You must find a way to remove this thing that has fallen here, the dryad responds, coughing again several times as the poison continues to take its toll on her. Without your help, I will die very soon. Ugh, the situation is quite dire for the dryad. How do you respond to her? Choose an option, negotiate a price for the party's help, press the dryad for additional information, search the pit where the glowing object lies. Yes, let's search the pit beyond for clues, Kartha agrees, leading the way. Turning to the north, it only takes a few minutes for the party to reach a large, dead tree, a strange purple light here pulsating on the ground almost like a beacon and flooding the immediate area in an eerie, sinister glow. Let's do a party intelligence check to see if any of you recognize the object lying here. Needing a 13 or less from your heroes, a 10 was rolled. Success. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details, dear Sisla. Sainairs exclaims, recognizing the object. That's a shard from the onyx seal. It must have landed here after the seal exploded and released the hellions. If that's true, then the shard is infernal, Kartha replies. We can't lift it out without some sort of magical container. That is true, human, the dryad confirms, standing behind you. I believe the Baron kept a bag of holding somewhere in his manor. With that, you can extract this shard from my grove and still save me. Luacia begins coughing again, this time for so long that she nearly passes out. Clearly, she has very little time left. Now recognizing what you need to do to save the dryad, you escort Luacia back to her tall oak tree, hoping that she can last long enough for you to recover the bag of holding from the manor beyond and return to the grove to excavate the object. The fey creature finds the courage to display a faint smile, then disappears again back into her oak tree, the poison already very close to killing her. So, go fetch this bag of holding, so you can rid the grove of the deadly object that has buried itself here. Until that happens, nothing more can occur here. The grove is quiet, Luacia hidden away again in her dying oak tree hoping that you can return in time to save her from the poison here that's quickly killing her. You'll need to present a bag of holding to draw Luacia out again.